All right, everyone. Thank you very much for joining the second day of gCon presented by the Guru. Once again, if you weren't able to join us yesterday, my name is Andrew McGonigal. I manage the Google Guru website, and I'll be your host for the rest of today as well as the rest of this week. If you weren't able to join us yesterday, or maybe you did, I just wanted to give you a little bit of information about how that went. We had over 2,000 people join us yesterday. It was a great day. We learned a lot about the Google Apps Administrator Certification Exam with Kyle Quinn. We also talked about assessing your Google Apps domain's health with Will O'Leary from FlashPanel. And finally, the day wrapped up with a session on protecting your Google Apps data with cloud-to-cloud backup with Matt Hamlin from Spanning, excuse me. So before we get started with Shreshth Luthra from Google, I just want to make a couple of quick notes on how today's presentation is going to go, as well as a couple notes about tomorrow. So first of all, we're going to be using two of the Hangout on Air apps today, just like we did yesterday. We're going to be using the Showcase app, which is going to allow you to quickly access some of the links on the right-hand side of your screen. And we're also going to be using the Q&A app to let you ask questions to Shreshth as the presentation goes along, and we'll get to those at the end of the presentation. So you should be able to see one of the links in the Showcase app on the right-hand side of your screen right now, and that's tomorrow's keynote. We're actually going to be joined by one of Shreshth's colleagues, Adam Swidler. He's the head of solution strategy at Google for Google Apps for Work. So he's got a great presentation for us tomorrow on the new digital enterprise and how it gets work done. So if you haven't already, please register for Adam's session. It's going to be a great one, just like Shreshth is going to be today. So I wanted to make you all aware of that. And the next note is about the attendance form. For those of you who are interested in getting the gCon certificate of attendance, I know a lot of you are really interested in that. So please stick around until the end of Shreshth's presentation, and I will make the form available, and you can fill that out. It should take no time at all. So once again, for questions, they are going to be in the Q&A app on the right-hand side of your screen. So you should be able to toggle back and forth between the Showcase app and the Q&A app. If you're having any trouble with that, you should find a square icon with a couple other squares inside of it that'll allow you to switch back and forth between Showcase and Q&A. And so with that, I'd like to go ahead and introduce Shreshth Luthra. He is a product strategist on the Google Apps for Work team, and he's got a great presentation for everyone about enabling mobile workers, project collaboration, and content sharing with Google Drive. So with that, I'd like to go ahead and turn it over to Shreshth. And Shreshth, if you're ready, we're going to go ahead and start your presentation.
Sounds good, Andrew. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining in today. And thanks, Andrew, for a great intro. So I am Shreshth Luthra, and I am a product strategist working on Google Apps for Work, mainly concentrating on Drive for Work for the time. And if you know, recently we introduced Drive for Work to the market at Google I/O, and I'll talk mainly in context of that how it can enable you guys to work better in your companies. With that, I'll share my screen and I'll start talking about my presentation. All right. I'm assuming you guys are able to see my screen, Andrew?
Yep, we're good.
Okay. So let's start with the presentation. So just to brief you about what we are going to cover today. We are going to cover about that how the enterprise space has been changing over the time, and what we have covered using Google Drive, and the use cases, the horizontal use cases that will apply to all of your whatever teams you are working in and whatever things you are working on, and how Google Drive can enable you work better in your organization. To start with, let's talk about some trends. So as businesses are becoming increasingly digital, the amount of data is exploding. A recent survey by Forrester states that 61% of growth has been there in enterprise data each year. And this data is not just the normal doc files, it's images, videos, PDFs, data sets, and much more. Okay. And with all this increase in data, it becomes even more important that we make this data more.
Uh-oh. Well, it looks like we lost Shrey here for a second. I'm not sure what the issue was there. If you can just bear with me for just a moment, we're going to try and get Shrey back online here. So just bear with us for just a second. Hi, everyone. I just wanted to say it one more time. It looks like we lost Shrey for just a minute here. I'm going to see if we can get him back online. I'm not quite sure what the issue is here, but if you just bear with me for just a moment or two, we'll get him back online and get back up and started with the presentation. Hi, everyone. Just wanted to say one more time before we get Trey on. We're having some connection issues on his end, it looks like. So I'm going to see if we can get him back online in just a few minutes. I apologize for these issues. I'm going to do my best to see if we can get him back online as soon as possible. So if you just bear with me for just a minute or so, we'll get back up and started. Thanks.
Andrew?
Hey, Shreshth.
Yeah,
We're on. Is everything all right? It looks like we got you
yeah.
back
I
online.
don't know how I dropped, and I just realized that it's not working.
We're okay. So, well, we lost you for a few minutes there. So, if you want, if you don't mind, just starting at the beginning of your presentation,
I can
and
do that. Yeah,
okay,
sure.
great. All right. So, Shresh, if you want to go ahead and get, or Shrey, sorry, if you want to go ahead and get started again.
Sure
Thanks.
thing. Sorry, guys, I didn't realize that I got dropped out of the call. Andrew, can you see the screen?
Yep, we're good to go. Thanks.
Okay, all right. So we'll go and get started again. And sorry for whatever happened. So as far as the agenda is concerned, we are going to talk about the how the enterprise space is changing. We are going to talk about how what we have covered using Google Drive. And the third thing we are going to cover is the use cases for your company. How it can Google Drive can make the life easy for your organization. So to start with, let's talk about some of the trends. Andrew, at the end of maybe a couple of slides, I'll check with you just in case we are dropped again.
Okay, great.
Okay, so as far as the trends, latest trends are concerned, as businesses become increasingly digital, the amount of data is exploding. So a latest survey from Forrester states that 61% increase in data every year that is happening in most of the companies. And when we talk about this data, it is not just about the normal doc files, it's about images, videos, PDFs, data sets, and even more. And this makes it easy access to be made even more essential for us. So when we talk about all this data that is increasing, it's not just about where people are accessing this data, but also the devices using which people are accessing the data. According to a Forrester survey, 53% of information workers use 3 or more devices for work. People expect to be able to work on all these devices, and that makes getting access to all the work files and data essential. Andrew, we are good?
Yep, we're all good.
Okay, awesome. So this slide talks more about how we are accessing the data and how we share the data. When we talk about the current scenario, data sets in many places. It exists in SharePoint, it exists in email attachments, file servers, or even thumbnails in some conditions. And this makes it hard to access the data, especially remotely or from a mobile device. And getting the right version of the data, then sharing it with colleagues, and can be even more difficult. So this presents challenges for not only for end users but also for IT as well. While users are struggling to find the right information and share it with those that need it, IT is trying to manage and secure all this corporate data wherever it is. And when users can't work the way they want, they take the matter into their own hands and use unsanctioned service and devices, making IT's job even harder. Andrew, we are good?
Yep, we're all good.
Okay. So we have designed Google Drive with these challenges in mind. Drive is simple to use and gives end user a single place to store all their work data. It's safe and accessible from anywhere and any device. And it's easy for IT to support and manage as well. Now we'll talk about what we have introduced with Google Drive as far as the Drive for Work is concerned. So in June 2014, we introduced Drive for Work at Google I/O, and the main aim of introducing Google Drive for Work was that to allow you to have a new starting point to have the Google experience in your organization. So as far as the current experience is concerned, Google Apps is all about Gmail, maybe that you start mainly with Gmail, but we want you to have a new starting point so that you can have the power of Google in your organization. So when you talk about Drive for Work, you can start with any team or any department and take it from there. And if you like the experience, you can move on to Hangouts, Gmail, and there are limitless possibilities for you. As far as Drive for Work is concerned, we introduced 4 new things in Drive for Work. First one was unlimited storage. Now you can store unlimited amount of data on and with the power of Google Drive. Second thing we introduced was the advanced controls. You do not need to have policies set at the company level, but you can also have the specific policies on the organization unit level or the department level. And the third thing we introduced was the advanced auditing and reporting capabilities. Now you have, as a Google Apps admin, you can have lots and lots of capabilities. You can see who is viewing the file or who is sharing the file or who is editing the file at any time. And the fourth thing we introduced was e-discovery with the help of Google Vault. And so we already had this thing in Google Apps Suite, but with Drive for Work, we integrated it closely with Drive. Andrew?
All good, all good.
Okay. I was about to check again.
No, it's okay.
Okay.
You're good.
All right. So let's talk about the use cases that apply to your company as far as Google Drive is concerned. So we see Google Drive as able to solve 3 problems in your company. And if you see your organization, mostly all 3 of them will be the common problems that you see in your organization right now. First one is the mobile workforce. As far as mobile workforce is concerned, we wanted to attack that, okay, there are people working from remote locations and they should be able to work properly and efficiently from there. Secondly, it is project collaboration. For project collaboration, people come onto a project for a limited amount of time, collaborate on it, how we can make their life easy. And third thing is the content sharing. You have lots and lots of content in your organization right now, which cannot be shared using email attachments anymore. So how we can make it easier for you to share the content in your organization. So let's talk about the mobile workforce use case first. Andrew, we are good?
Yes, we're good.
Okay. So as far as mobile workforce use case is concerned, let's look at some of the trends that are there in the industry right now. So if you look at this chart from KPCB, the amount of data that is the amount of the number of mobile device shipments has been increasing tremendously, and it's expected to increase at a more rapid rate in the coming years. While the PC shipments is kind of steady or lowering down, the smartphone is increasing at a very tremendous rate, and even the tablet you can see is really increasing. And mobile devices are the way we work today. So although at work we are still using our computer as the main source, at home, while traveling and while commuting, smartphones and tablets are the main things that we are using. Andrew?
All good.
Okay. So with today's tools, the mobile, as of now, the mobile is mostly about the emails. So there was a survey conducted by Forrester which states that when people are traveling, the 75% of them are using emails as far as the mobile device is concerned, and only a very few are able to use some text documents or conduct online meetings while commuting. And this problem does not exist for a particular function or a particular person. It exists for all kind of people, be it an account manager or be it a VP of sales or a VP of finance. So let's look at one use case which you might be able to resonate a lot with as far as mobile workers are concerned. So this is Frank, industrial boiler technician, whose job is to go and repair industrial boilers for people who are the clients of his company. So in morning, he prints the latest documentation of whatever the tickets that were raised. He packs his briefcase with all these tickets and all these papers, and he commutes for 2 hours to get to the first destination, which is the site. There he realizes that he has got the wrong product number and the paper that was printed is wrong. And he calls his back office and realizes that, okay, he's not able to find a product specialist. It takes him almost 30 minutes to find a product specialist. And then after that, he spends almost 1 hour talking to that guy, understanding that, okay, what the documentation is, then repairing it. And after that, he troubleshoots the boiler and skips his lunch. And because he took so much time at the first site, he had to miss the second appointment. And later on, when he went back home, he had to spend 45 minutes on his laptop just uploading.
Hey everyone, it looks like we lost Shrey again. I apologize again for these technical issues. Hopefully Shrey will join us a little bit quicker than he did last time. Once again, I do apologize for these issues, and if you just bear with me for just a minute or two, we should be back up and running. So please just stay put for just a second, and we'll be right back. Thank you. All right, we got you back. Yeah, sorry, you got.
Not sure what is happening. Sorry for that. Okay.
Do you have any other Hangouts or anything open on your device, or that might have something to do with it? I'm not sure.
I do not have anything open.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll just keep powering through. If you want to go back, I think you were wrapping up that mobile worker use case there.
Sure.
All right. Thanks.
All right. Andrew, did we cover any of this slide?
Sorry, you were just a bit. I think you were down towards the end of that slide.
Okay. So let me cover this slide real quick again. So as far as what we are talking about, Frank, an industrial boiler engineer whose job is to go to different places and repair the industrial boilers for the clients for his clients. So in morning he prints a documentation, a latest documentation of all the boilers that he needs to repair in the day. He packs his briefcase and does 2 hours of commute in morning to get to the first client. And there, when he reaches, he realizes that okay, he has got the order form with wrong product number, and he calls back his office, and he realizes that okay, he's not able to find a product specialist for that particular product, and it takes him almost 30 minutes to find a product specialist, and then he spends almost 1 hour understanding the documentation from the person, and then he spends time troubleshooting the boiler, skips his lunch, and misses the next appointment because he was so late. And once he reaches his room at 7 p.m., he is supposed to spend almost like 45 minutes to upload the data that he had gathered, um, uh, and he had to upload all that onto his company documentation. And he realizes that overall he's having a long day, and he did not have any time for his family. So what are the problems that Frank, the industrial boiler technician, is facing? First one is the restricted access to knowledge. He's not able to access the product documentation on file servers. He had to call back his office. He had to carry a 10-pound of papers just to know that okay, that all he has the documentation for all the industrial boilers that he needs to repair in the day. Second problem is that he can't be he's not able to fully work on the go. He had to carry his laptop on in order for to even to do some basic stuff, and and he had to and he's not able to access to the product specialist team easily. And the third problem he's facing is the limited connectivity. He had to carry multiple devices at all the time, and some data is only accessible using his phone, and some accessible only using his laptop. So let's look at how Google Drive can make life easy for Frank, the industrial boiler engineer. With Google Drive, Frank is able to access the knowledge at any point, and he's able to access all his files with the right permissions, and he has the mobile security built in, and he is able to get his work done if he's accessing some office documentation. He can edit them using his phone or using his tablet, and he's able to work offline as well. And the third thing is that he's able to stay connected all the time, maybe be it chatting with his team over the Hangout or tracking the changes to the content using the activity feed. Andrew, you're good?
Yep, we're still good, thanks.
Okay. So let's look at some of the basic things that Frank would be able to do that we talked about using Google Drive. First thing is editing office documentation. So be it a tablet, be it mobile phone or laptop, you are able to edit your office documentation using Google Drive. Next thing is the co-authoring the documents. Multiple people working on the same document, they can add their comments and they can easily work together without any problem. Next thing is easily tracking the version and changes with the activity feed. If you know, we have on the right side of when you click on any file, on the right side you can see what is the activity that is happening on that file and how things are working, and who has shared the file or who has commented on the file. And another thing is meeting and chatting using Hangouts. So as far as Frank is concerned, he was trying to figure out that who is a product specialist, and he had to spend time on phone understanding the documentation. The life would be much easier if the person is meeting and chatting using Hangouts. And the last one is the mobile security. And so Google Drive provides you a lot of mobile security using the mobile device management solution that we have on Android devices as well as iOS devices. All right, so let's look at the life of Frank once he is using Google Drive. he needs to, once he is having Google Drive, he just needs to carry his tablet to his client side. We talked about that he's spending 2 hours going to the office. If he's using Google Maps, he might be saving 15 minutes of his commute if Google Maps is able to suggest some alternate route. Then once he finds that the documentation is wrong, he can start the Hangout, and he can just walk through the repair steps, and the other person can walk through the repair steps and place the repair manual in the shared folder which Frank can access. And he can fix the boiler, enjoy the lunch with the client, and maybe quickly dictate notes in whatever format you're using, be it Google Docs or be it Office files. And he arrives on time for the next appointment and is able to find time for having dinner with his family, and everything is happy. All right, so this does not just apply to Frank, the industrial boiler engineer, who is in this figure. It's about field support and operations. It also applies to field sales, marketing staff, or telecommuters, or people who are bringing their own devices as well. So let's look at some of the case studies, actual case studies of people or companies which are using the power of Google Drive as far as mobile workforce is concerned. So first one is Berkshire Hathaway, which is the largest retailer in the tri-state area of Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware. They have more than 4,000 sales associates who spend most of their time showing homes to prospective buyers. Their sales associates use their mobile phones and tablets to look for emails from clients, take photos of homes, check their calendars for appointments, and share new listings information with their colleagues. They need to have important information at their fingertips, whether they are in car, a property site, or at one of the 65 locations that they have. Till now, sales agents and other employees were turning to external tools to get mobile access, forwarding their work emails to personal Gmail accounts, and using external online storage services due to limitation with in-house systems. Then they started using the power of Google Drive. The brokers saved files to Google folder on their laptops, and these files could be documents, PDFs, images, or anything, and they are synced to Google Drive, and they are accessible on whichever device they are using. And the files are backed up and available anywhere, and it makes the agent, they have the property info and contracts at their fingertips, and IT was happy that they are able to secure the place, secure the documents, and everything is ready for them. Let's look at the next case study, which is of field support, and which is from HP. You guys know HP very well, and the field service team in their printing and personal systems group services a wide range of equipments, but service technicians were having a hard time finding the latest product manuals when they were in the field. So when they were at the customer side, they would have to VPN into the internet or search through the emails looking for the right documentation. Okay, and when they started using Google Drive, the PPS team was able to create shared folders by different products, and each folder contained the latest documentation, and technicians had immediate access to whatever documentation they needed, and they were able to make their life better using this. The third example that we have is Oscar Larson, which provides full service petroleum and fluid handling equipment contracting to many of the Fortune 1000 companies. The company has over 200 employees. Their technicians and licensed contractors perform on-site inspections, collect documentation, and resolve issues. The field technicians are required to inspect sites, perform tests, and document sites and provide reports to customers. The problem they were facing was collecting site pictures was very cumbersome. Cameras were handed out to all the technicians. They would take hundreds of pictures each day and of all the sites that they visited, and they spent hours organizing the files by client and the site. And with the power of Google Drive, they created shared drive folders by client and location, and field technicians added pictures to Drive using Android devices. And as of now, like if you have it installed, Google Drive installed on Android devices, you can just automatically set that all pictures that are taken, they would be uploaded as well. And everyone had immediate access to headquarters and the customers. And with this, they were able to increase the productivity of their field workers, and technicians were able to save 1 to 2 hours daily with instant picture uploads. All right, let's look at the second use case that we want to cover. Andrew, we're good?
Yep, we're good.
Okay. Second use case that we want to cover is the project collaboration. So as far as project collaboration is concerned, I touched on it briefly before that teams come and work on a project for a brief amount of time, and after that they move on and maybe work on different projects. So let's look at some of the trends that are there lately. As a recent survey from Forrester states, 58% of work is team-based projects, and people belong to different teams, and they come for ad hoc team together for ad hoc teams as well. And as far as teams are concerned, they increasingly include remote as well as external members as well. So you can see the trend that 68% of work we do is with remote co-workers, and 73% is with remote customers as well. So I talked about it briefly before that 61% growth is there in enterprise data every year, and this data does not just include normal doc files but also pictures, videos, or your data sets or whatnot. And as far as this is concerned, people are accessing this data. This data is coming from various sources, and it has to be shared to multiple locations, and it's not easy to share data with different users. So let's look at a use case that you might be able to resonate with. We are looking at Project Team Fuji, which is supposed to launch a new toothpaste. This is a marketing team. Ariel is the team leader, and Jeremiah is the brand manager. Rahul is the merchandising guy, and Bill is the admin guy who is responsible for the compliance. So let's look at a typical day. So this is the day of finalizing the brand names. So Ariel gets onto the train, and she gets an email that with 3 final brand names, and at that time she calls Jeremiah and tries to reach out to him to discuss about it, but he's not available, and she gets onto his voicemail, and she gets to the office, downloads all the attachments and looks at the logos. She calls Jeremiah again, and they discuss for an hour about it, that okay, which logo we want to go with. Ariel, they are able to finalize on the one logo or brand name, and after that Ariel emails a presentation to the merchandising guy Rahul, and who emails the presentation to executives and submits urgent ticket to share it with the partner extranet. And after that, at that time Jeremiah realizes that okay, there is some change that he wants to do to the brand name or the logo. And he calls Ariel again, who updates the presentation, sends it to Rahul. Rahul opens the ticket again. IT again replaces the asset on the extranet. And finally, the Bill, the IT guy, who is responsible for compliance, he raises a ticket for compliance report, which takes almost 48 hours. So let's look at where are the problems in this use case or this scenario. First one is collaboration is definitely happening, but at this sequential level. So Ariel calls Jeremiah, Jeremiah does something, and Ariel sends an email to Rahul, Rahul sends an email to IT. So work is happening very much in silos. Second problem is it's hard to organize and share content. The content is shared using the email attachments, and IT has to be involved at each and every point. And as far as the knowledge is concerned, it remains with the individual. So this is a brand team. So even if the team is replaced at some point, you would want that the knowledge should remain with the company. But since these emails are trapped and the knowledge is trapped in attachments and emails, it's not easily accessible. And the fourth problem is that the data is not secure. So attachments are not easy to control, and IT had to raise a support ticket, which takes almost 48 hours for the compliance. Andrew, we're good?
Yes, we're good.
All right. So let's look at how Google Drive can make their life easy. So first thing is collaboration and creating the content together. So people can meet and chat together, and they can easily track what changes are happening in the activity feed. Second thing is they are able to organize and share content. They are able to share large size files. So Google Drive Drive for Work specifically supports 5 terabyte of files, and they are able to share the folders of all type of files with whoever they want. And the third thing is that it retains the knowledge. Even if the team is transferred or employee leaves the company, the folder can be transferred to some other person, and the knowledge stays with the company. And the fourth thing is that it meets the security requirements of the organization as far as auditing is concerned or e-discovery is concerned. So it's meeting the Bill's requirement, who is the compliance guy. Let's look at some of the specific things that we just talked about. First thing is shared folders and files. So you can create your own folders, manage it the way you want, organize your files within these folders. Second thing is that you can easily track the changes using the activity feed. We talked about it briefly before. Third thing is that you are able to collaborate on the same document together. You are able to create the documents together. For example, in this use case, Ariel and Jeremiah, they can just jump onto the document together and they can make the edits or whatever they were doing. You are able to edit even the Office documents. It's not just limited to Google Docs format. And you can easily meet and chat as a group using Google Hangouts as well. You can privately engage with stakeholders, be it internal stakeholders or external stakeholders. In our case, Rahul raised a ticket to share it with the extranet. So this would have been much easier with the help of Google Drive. And it meets the compliance needs of your business as well. So Bill, who is the compliance guy, is able to easily track down that, okay, what are the changes that have happened, be it the file that is trashed or changes the visibility of the file or edit to the file. So let's quickly look at how the team Fuji's life has changed with Google Drive. So Ariel sees a new file in the team folder. She pings Jeremiah on Hangout and chats him the link. Both of them get onto the Hangout and
Looks like we lost Shrey again. Once again, I apologize for these technical issues. Hopefully we'll get him right back up and online to wrap up this presentation. I do again apologize for these issues. I know this is a little bit of unfortunate for everyone that's watching this presentation, and I do apologize, and we'll try and get back up and running as soon as possible. Hey, Shrey, we lost you there for a second.
Yeah, I know. I have no idea why it's happening.
Do you know how much more presentation you have left? Because we're running short on time.
Yep, I'll be able to finish it.
Okay, I want to make sure we save a little bit of time for questions as well.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
All right, Andrew. I'm assuming that we need to cover this slide.
Yes.
Okay. So we were talking about how the life changes for project team Fuji. So Ariel sees a new file in the team folder, and she pings the link to Jeremiah and gets him onto the Hangout, and they get onto the Hangout. They finalize the proposal together, and Ariel updates the launch presentation, and she chats Rahul the link and tells him that okay, we are ready to publish. Rahul is easily able to find the latest documents and create launch post. And finally, Bill, who is the compliance guy, is able to see the audit trail and able to see that, okay, what are the changes that have happened recently. So as far as the project management is concerned, projects exist in each and every department in whatever company that you are working with. And be it a sales proposal, be it a marketing campaign or event, or when you are finalizing your financial planning, or you are doing IT project management, this project collaboration use case applies to your company. We are quickly going to look at one use case. I'm not going to cover multiple ones here. So as far as the use case is concerned, so we are talking about the company Fairchild, which is an American semiconductor company based in Bay Area. They have 10,000 employees worldwide, and their sales team is global. Before Google, deal team were collaborating using emails, which caused access and versioning issues. And each team member had to make sure to email all collaborators before and after making changes, and it was easy to end up working on the wrong version as well. Then the team decided to go on Google Drive, and Google global team was able to collaborate easily. Team members made edits to presentation and documents in their own time zones, and the changes were synced globally, and the history was maintained. And with this, they were no longer hunting for the right versions, and it was easy for end users to work and collaborate better.
Hey, Shrey, can you hide that little window down there at the bottom, the Hangouts window?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Only if it works. Okay. All right.
All right, just keep going.
That's fine. Okay, so for the sake of time, I'm not going to cover the other use cases here. And let's look at the next use case that we have that applies to your company, which is about the content sharing. So content, as you see, like lately, the amount of content is growing tremendously, and it's no longer easy to share all these large data files within your company. So we wanted to solve this problem with our content sharing use case, and we wanted to make sure that we address that problem using Google Drive. As far as Google Drive is concerned, you can start anywhere, be it sales assets. You have lots and lots of sales assets that you would want to keep and easily able to share with other people. There are marketing collaterals that you want to share with your company and maybe with external people, with your partners. Or there are finance reports or dashboards that you want to see and you want to share with your company and keep it for a long time. So let's just look at a couple of use cases. So we are talking about Commune Hotels and Resorts, which is an international hotel management company with a portfolio of 50 plus hotels. They have over 2,500 employees, and they have a sales team of 100 plus, and each salesperson is mostly familiar with their own primary property. Their sales team had grown quickly over the time without much central coordination. The team was distributed and nimble, but suffered from not having a central place to collaborate, share information, and access the latest collaterals. This was less of an issue for established salespeople, but more challenging for the new salespeople who joined the company or the team. So they wanted to sell across the entire portfolio, and before Drive, salespeople had to email each other or marketing to get information about other properties. So their sales operations team wanted a better way to support new reps, align the team around common goals, and increase cross-selling. They started using Google Drive, and they created a sales hub using Google Drive and Sites. They linked sites to property info and collaterals, and this was built by an employee who in his part-time. And sales now is able to find the best resources and at their fingertips, and reps are more productive, and the salespeople are more productive as well. Andrew, do you want me to cover one more use case, or you want to jump onto the Q&A?
I think we only have about 8 minutes left here, so why don't we, if there's a good wrap-up point in your presentation, or we can just move right into questions.
Yeah. All right. So let me just quickly tell you what we discussed about. So what we wanted with this presentation, what we wanted to emphasize on was that these three use cases, mobile workforce, project collaboration, and content sharing, apply to each company, and you need to figure out that what things work better for you, and maybe with that you'll be able to utilize the power of Google Drive. Okay, and with that we open it for questions.
All right, thanks a lot, Shrey. One quick thing that I think would be a good thing to let everyone know about is if you can quickly make the distinction between, I know these kind of overlap here, but Google Apps for Business, Google Apps for Work, and Google Apps Unlimited. I think some people are a little confused about those three different names and what exactly applies to each one. So if you wanted to just talk about that for just a minute or two.
Definitely, I'll do that. And so let me talk about Google Apps for Business for a bit. So Google Apps, as far as Google Apps for Business is concerned, that's a standard SKU that we had before, and that is our $5 SKU. And we recently introduced Drive for Work, and which is our premium SKU. So as far as Google Drive for Work and Google Apps Unlimited are concerned, as of now, they are the same thing. So Google Apps Unlimited is the like the premium version that we have, the premium SKU that we have, and as of now, the only distinction between Google Apps for Business and Google Apps Unlimited is Drive capabilities. So we have Google Drive for within Google Apps for Business, and we have Drive for Work within Google Apps Unlimited. So as far as the naming is concerned, you can just go with Drive for Work. As far as the difference is concerned, one thing is obviously the pricing, but at the same time, we have some other distinctions as well. First thing is unlimited storage. With Google Drive for Work, you have unlimited storage. You can store as much data as you want. You have the advanced controls available in Drive for Work, which when you're talking about Drive for Work and Google Apps Unlimited, it's the same thing as of now. So, so advanced controls are concerned. You have OU level controls for syncing and working offline. And then you have the advanced auditing and reporting capabilities that are available in Drive for Work. Then the fourth thing is Google Vault. which was not there as part of the package of Google Drive before in Google Apps for Business, but it's part of the package in Google Apps Unlimited or Drive for Work.
Awesome. Yeah, I think that pretty much covers everything
Yeah.
there. We're running close up to our hour time slot. I'd like to get to as many of these questions as we can, but I am going to I'm going to make our attendance form available for everyone in the Showcase app right now that can't stay past the hour. So you should see the link to the attendance form in the Showcase app on the right-hand side of your screen. You may need to navigate from the Q&A section for just a bit, but you can find that attendance form there. And so since I'd like to continue touching on some questions here, so we're going to get back in here to these questions. A good question, I'm not sure if you're able to answer this, Shrey, but there's a good question here about deleting Google Drive files that have been synced to a user's desktop. So if someone has the desktop version of Google Drive for Mac or PC installed, and they're syncing files from Google Drive to their device, how can an organization go about deleting those files and making sure that there's not any concerns there?
Sure thing. So what you're asking about is remote wiping the sync client that is installed on someone's personal computer or whatever machine. So as of now, we don't have that capability, but like we are still thinking about it, that okay, how we can make it easier for the end users or for the IT administrator to keep control of the data. So if you guys have some specific use cases, we are always willing to listen from you that okay, that these are the use cases and this is why you want this functionality, and we are always making enhancements, and will definitely consider it.
Great. Moving on here. So there's another question about mobile options for Google Drive and making the offline experience a little bit better. Shrey, you might want to touch on this a little bit, but I just wanted to mention that that Google has introduced a number of different applications for Android and iOS for Google Drive. So instead of just having your Google Drive application, you now have Google Drive, you have Sheets, you have Slides, you have Docs. There's a number of different options there. So Shrey, if you want to talk a little bit more about mobile options for Drive.
So as far as mobile is concerned, we are continuously enhancing on that, and when we are talking about mobile workforce, it's not just about a laptop. We want to make your experience better on tablets and smartphones. So we are continuously making some efforts around that. Lately, we have we have launched a new UI with Drive along with Drive for Work. So the experience we wanted to give was that our mobile users are able to work seamlessly and able to work properly. And next thing we introduced we have editing capabilities on your phone or tablets as well, be it slides, be it docs or tricks or whatever you have. We have those capabilities. Then recently we introduced our iOS mobile device management capabilities as well. We already had those capabilities on Android devices, but we wanted to make sure that you have the best experience as IT admins, so we introduced that as well. And there are lots and lots of other things that you'll be seeing in near future as well. And we are continuously making enhancements, and we are more and more willing to hear from you. So whatever is your mode to share knowledge with us, please do share whatever your use cases are, and we would want to know more about it.
Great. There's another question here that seems to be pretty popular, and I've got a feeling that Shrey, you may not be able to answer this, but the question is about when will you offer Google Drive, a version of Google Drive for teams, projects, or departments? I would just before Shrey, if you what you can comment on that.
So
I wanted to.
I would not want be able to comment on it, but at the same time, we are definitely looking into it and trying to make enhancements and try, try trying to make enhancements and making it available for the customers.
Great, yeah, and I also wanted to say our presentation that is coming up just in a little bit today, later this afternoon, we have a presentation from AO Docs on using Google Drive in the enterprise. That is at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, and if you're interested in kind of mimicking that behavior, or if you're interested in turning Google Drive kind of into that file server behavior, AO Docs is a really good option to do that. And so if you're interested in learning more about
Awesome. Andrew, I'll have to drop here. Okay. So
okay, great.
Thank you for your time. Thank you everyone for attending this presentation. So yeah, go ahead.
Thanks a lot, Trey. All right, I'm going to continue and try and touch and answer some of these questions for people here. Shrey, you can hang up if you'd like, if you got to run. And there we go. So I'm going to try and get to as many of these questions that I can answer personally. I'm not able to answer all of them. I don't have the insight that Shrey does, but I'll try and do my best here. So let's see. We have a question here on protecting data that is shared with users outside of your domain in Google Drive. As long as someone has access to a file outside of your domain, then there's not much that you can do to protect that data. You can prevent them from downloading the file with settings in Google Drive, but really the best way to protect data that's shared outside of your domain is to just make sure that it's not shared outside of your domain. So that means being aware of exactly what files are shared outside of a domain, and if it's sensitive information, correcting that sharing settings. So you can do that inside of the admin console with Google Apps, but there's some issues there from a granular perspective. You don't get a ton of insight into exactly what you can see with those sharing settings in Google Drive. So if you want to get some more functionality, you'll need to take a look at a third-party product. We heard from FlashPanel yesterday, which is a great option for that sort of thing. Let me see if there's some more questions I can answer here. Let's see. And we had another question about wiping data on mobile devices with Google Apps. So Google has definitely started to make a big push into the mobile device management sector in the past few months and year. So it really depends on what types of devices your organization has. Obviously, Google has a lot more options for managing Android devices, but they recently came out in the past couple of weeks with a brand new iOS sync option for your devices, and I'm not entirely sure what the wiping features available there are. I think that there are data wiping options available, but you'll have to look into that a little bit more. Just Google iOS sync and Android sync for Google Apps. See if I can answer any more of these questions here. Let's see, we got a question on sharing outside a domain. Does the recipient have to have a Gmail account? In the past, that was true. Recently, with some changes to Drive, you can share with anyone with a link, and the recipient will be able to open that file no matter what. And you may even be able actually to share to a specific email address But I wouldn't, don't quote me on that. I think you might want to do a little bit of research there, but you can share with somebody outside of a Gmail or Google Apps account with the share to anyone with a link option. Let's see here. Good question about is there any intention / timetable for Google Sheets to handle complex functions like Microsoft Excel? This isn't a question that I'll be able to answer specifically because I don't have any insight into or can comment on Google's roadmap for Sheets. But I will say that we saw recently when they completely revamped the Sheets interface to handle larger data sets and more rows and columns and more complex functions there. I think you can see that Google is understanding that that to be a major player in the enterprise space, they need to improve the Sheets product. So I think we will see that improve in the coming months and years, hopefully. Okay, I think that's all the questions that I can answer for now. I do need to prepare for one of our sessions that's coming up in about an hour. That's using Google Drive in the enterprise, presented by AO Docs. So you should see the links to those sessions in the Showcase app on the right-hand side of your screen. So we have a session at 1 p.m. I just mentioned using Google Drive in the enterprise, and then we have another session at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, project management with Smartsheet in a Google world. So if you can, please join us for those sessions and also fill out the attendance form for this session. I also wanted to apologize to everyone for the connection issues that we had today, having Shrey bounce off of the broadcasts a couple times there. I do apologize, and I promise that we're going to do everything that we can to make sure that that doesn't happen again moving forward, and we'll try and improve the experience as much as we can for you guys. So thank you very much for joining us for this session, and hopefully we'll see you again in a little less than an hour for our first breakout session of the day. And I can also mention that we're also having some great giveaways for those presentations as well. We're giving away a Samsung Chromebook 2 for each one of those sessions, so a little bit more incentive there to attend. And for the second breakout session today, Smartsheet is actually sponsoring a giveaway of some Bose Quiet Comfort 15 acoustic noise canceling headphones. So if you're interested in Chromebooks or nice headphones, then hope to see you for the breakout sessions later today. Thanks again, and I'll see you in a little bit.